This is Andy Purewal for ID Boxing. I'm joined by Dmitry Salita, promoter to Claressa Shields. Dmitry, she's undisputed champion once again. Walk me through Claressa's victory against Savannah Marshall.
What a night. Couldn't have wished for a better fight, for a better night for women's sports and for women's boxing. Like I may have mentioned to you prior to this is this event was bigger than this particular fight. The effect of this is gonna be across the world, across cultures. This was Leonard Hearns. Women's version, maybe even better in some ways. Really incredible fight. To really understand how great Claressa is, you have to understand where she came from. Flint, Michigan, one of the most challenging places in the United States, had challenges in family, in school, in all of our surroundings, had a very valid way to make excuses, which would be 100% respected, to not do stuff, to not believe in herself, to go along with temptation, but she didn't. And she believed in women's boxing before it was even a business. And what she accomplished tonight, from that to this, to being one of the greatest athletes in the sport, and coming from that challenging environment is really incredible. And Claressa talked about her hard work, her relationship with God, her drive to be the GWOAT. And I believe no matter what happens next, Claressa proved that she is the GWOAT. And she is the driving force of women's boxing, not just for rivalries in her weight class, but also for all the fights across the board. So it was really a special night, and I'm very grateful and honored to have been involved with Claressa from the beginning of her career and to be involved with this so far peak, but I know that we're going to have bigger and better nights as well.
Dmitry, what was the difference tonight? Why was Claressa successful against Savannah Marshall?
Well, the difference was several, several ingredients in what made the fight what it was. First of all, a lot of respect for Peter Fury, great boxing mind. I mean, he really helped Savannah go several levels up from where she was just a couple of years ago. With that being said, Claressa, as a kid, has been consistently a champion, consistently winning. To me, when you're a successful amateur boxer, that means that you're able to deal with life's trouble and still get your mind together and go in there and win. And that means international tournaments, you fight people every day of the week. Claressa proved that being an amateur boxing world champion, Olympic gold medalist. When the fight got postponed, Claressa was very sad for a couple of days. Then she brushed it off, and she got focused and got herself together and had an amazing camp. So Claressa, as a professional, fought a very high level of competition from her first fight. She's fought Franchon Cruz in her pro debut, who's the undisputed super middleweight world champion, which is like pro debut. And ever since that, she's fought for a world title in her fourth professional fight. Undefeated fighter who was 17-0, I believe. Fought on television, a lot of pressure. Fought Christina Hammer, another great fighter, in what was the biggest women's fight of that time. So Claressa mentally and physically prepared herself to fight these super fights. Savannah Marshall, although impressive, fought opponents. She fought girls that some tried less, some tried a little more, but they never really pushed themselves to win. They weren't the best. And with all of that, what she did tonight was fantastic. But there's levels to this, and Claressa's on a different level. And Savannah is very good, and she brought out the greatness that we saw tonight in Claressa. She's a very good fighter. She has a lot to be proud of. But Claressa is generational. Muhammad Ali, Pele, Jackie Robinson, Michael Jordan. She's the greatest.
Dmitry, what next for Claressa?
What's next for Claressa? I think a couple of weeks off, some good food, maybe some sun. She's going to relax, and, like I've said so many times, I love coming here. I love the British fans. It's so fantastic. And so it's possible that we'll come back here. Maybe we'll stage a fight back in the United States. Detroit has some big venues. Would love to maybe stage, with all the stuff that I've been doing in Detroit. Maybe bring Claressa back to Detroit. Vegas, Madison Square Garden, all of Barclays Center, all of these venues could be a possibility for Claressa. And I believe now, after this victory, coming to a different country with having 20,000 people against her, as you saw, walking to the ring and accomplishing what she's accomplished, I believe that she's going to have tremendous support. And to me, she's one of the hottest boxers. Like, who's better than Claressa Shields? What better story inside and outside the ring is there than Claressa Shields? With all the things that's happening in society, because boxing, it many times reflects and progresses social change. So who better than Claressa Shields? I believe the sky is the limit, literally. Middle East would love for her to fight in the Middle East as boxing has been developing on very high levels there. For Claressa to be, I think there's been women that fought there, but to be the first superstar woman to fight there, to defend her belts, that would be huge. So all of these are possibilities that we've been exploring while this was going on. And, we as a team will huddle up, talk about it, and see what the next best move is. Not only for the immediate couple of bucks, but more importantly, for the historic significance that Claressa is going to make, because she is a generational athlete. People watching her live, people watching her on TV should enjoy it, because 20, 30 years from now, you're going to be talking about her like Muhammad Ali.
Dmitry, how are you celebrating tonight with Claressa?
How am I going to be celebrating? Well, a week before the fight, Claressa was in camp. 10 days before the fight, they were camp in Detroit. So I went to see her train. We went out to dinner. And Claressa was like, she had steak, she had ribs. I mean, she ate. So I was like, man, this girl's in shape, man. She's eating good. So I think tonight I'm going to smoke a cigar. Maybe without Claressa, but it was really, really an incredible night, an incredible journey. Thank you. Come, boss. Come. No. You're BTS? Thank you so much, boss. Take care, man. Just one of the employees from Boxer who were great to work with.
Shout out Baz Arjamand.
Yes, shout out to Baz, great guy. It's a surreal, very special moment, and I'm very happy for Claressa. And there she goes on her way.
And that's my cue to shut up and leave now. So thank you for speaking to me in ID Boxing. Safe travels back to America, Dmitry.
By the way, I love ID Boxing. It's the new big player on the scene.